Hello, hello, this is Awakening with Nina, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience with Archangel Michael. So if you are new, welcome to the channel. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. So when I did the live right before Christmas in the end of 2022, I was asked also to address my relationship with Michael, because Michael has been a huge part of my life. And I'm sorry, I have still a bit of a cold, so I'm still struggling. I have to have a scarf on me. Anyway, so I have, I believe that Michael has been part of my life, probably my entire life, as he probably is with everybody. But I wasn't aware of him until about, I would say, 20 years ago. When I really started to get into digging deeper into my spiritual journey. After becoming ill, severely ill, and needing to stop working and all of that, I started really to get into healing and looking at what was going on with me, inside me, what needed to be healed, where to go, all that stuff, and also my kind of deep education within the spiritual field started about 20 years ago. So in my process of healing, which I'm still in, I'm still healing. I think we all do through our entire life. And also in my process of becoming a healer myself, becoming a spiritual teacher, becoming someone who gives readings and mediumship and cleanse houses and all that stuff, I needed someone to guide me and to show me the way. And it wasn't until I had a situation that was so severe with my physical form that I actually thought that I was going to die. First of all, my physical form was so sick that it was going to die on its own. And that was one thing. But after I continued to kind of just stumble on in my life and just be here, because that was pretty much all I did. I was just surviving. I wasn't really living. And so at a point, to be honest with you, I wanted to give up because the pain was just too much. I had panic attacks that was so severe that my body had just shut down. I went into the play dead mode, and all the energy was drained from my body. I think probably almost no energy in my physical form at all. My body couldn't breathe by itself. It was really, really bad, and it didn't get any better. I didn't see the end of the tunnel, and so I felt, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive this, if I'm going to have the energy to actually to get any better, or I couldn't see the end of the tunnel. I couldn't see that I was getting any better, and so I was in deep despair. And I was in a situation where I was thinking, and I had kind of made all the steps up to how I was going to leave this world. And I was standing on the threshold of do or not do. And there was a voice that all of a sudden said, sleep on it. That's all I heard, sleep on it. That was my dog that was coughing in the background. Ooh, ooh, doggy, are you sick? He got something in his throat, apparently. He's okay now. Okay. Anyways, no, so there was a voice that said, sleep on it. And I stopped everything, because that was the only thing I was able to hear or experience at that moment, was this voice saying, sleep on it. And so I did. I just dropped everything I had. It was in the middle of the day, and I just crawled into my bed, under all my covers, and I was, okay, I'll sleep on it. I didn't have any will of my own, kind of. It was just, I just did what I was told. And I slept on it. And when I woke up, I woke up with the remembrance of the love that I have for my children, and knew I can't leave them. I have to find a way. And so that's when I was so desperate for help. And then in a meditation I did, I sat down and I closed my eyes and I asked for help. And I saw this figure that looked like a gladiator standing in front of me. He was really muscular and he had this blue shield, kind of the what do you say, the I don't know if you can call it a suit or a uniform or a shield at least, not the shield that he holds, but his armor, that's the word, the armor was blue. And he had this blue, really blue piercing eyes as well for me. That's the way I saw him. And he stood in front of me. And, you know, many people see Michael with the sword and the shield and everything. But in this situation, he was standing right in front of me and he put his hand on my heart. And he gave me his strength, okay? And that was exactly what I needed. I needed the strength to be able to breathe, to be able to exist, to be able to survive one more day. Or at that time it was survive one more minute, survive one more hour, survive one more day. You know, just minute by minute, second by second. And so I needed the strength to be able to be here at all, in the beginning. And of course, I was so emotionally overwhelmed by this that just, all the tears came up and a lot of stuff also got released in that situation. I also had, of course, at the same time, a psychologist, a therapist that I'm still seeing, who is very spiritual, who understands how all of this works, the spiritual thing. And he has been there to hold my hand as well, of course. And also my fiancé, who has been the rock of my life, has also been here. And of course, my children. So it wasn't only Michael, but he gave me the strength to survive through the day, to be able to stay. And who helped me understand that there is the end of this. There is an end that's in sight. You just have to go through some stuff first, and I will be here to help you with that. And so every time I sank into meditation, I invited him in, and he put his protective shields around me. He cut the cords, he helped me cut cords to stuff, and he was holding my hand, or he was very often standing behind me and holding his hand on my back, kind of supporting me, holding me up. At one point, I felt like he was almost holding his hands under my arms and holding me physically up. And so he came every time I needed him. He came and he was part of my life here. And also, I needed to go over to the States on a flight to finish my education, to become a master teacher. And I was really scared of flying. I was scared because I had panic attacks. I didn't know if I was going to be able to go through with this course at all, to be able to even get on the on the plane. So I asked for help from Michael, and he was there. And he convinced me that we will get through this. You have to go do this. And I also asked him, can you help me in other ways, support me, with kind of practical stuff. And of course he said, yes, I will do what I can. And I also, of course, talked to my doctor about this, and my therapist and everybody about this. And funny story, I was in the doctor's office. It was just a couple of weeks before I was going to leave on this airplane that I was dreading so much, because I had panic attacks and I was scared that the moment that airplane door shut, that I would go into panic. And so my doctor said, okay, so where are you going? And I said, well, I'm flying from Oslo to New York. And she said, okay, what day? And I told her the date, and she was like, what time? I said, well, that time in the morning. And she said, I am on the same flight. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? She gave me Valium because that was the only thing that I needed to be able to get on the flight. She said, take one of these 1 hours before you go on. I don't take pills. I don't even take painkillers unless I really, really have to. But she said, do that, and I will contact you as soon as we are on board, or if you need me before, I will be there for you the entire flight. And if this is not divinely orchestrated, I don't know what isn't. My doctor was going on the same flight, and who knew? In all the gin joints in all the world kind of feeling, and you step into mine. And so she was with me, and of course I really dreaded taking that one pill, but I ended up actually doing it, taking one Valium before I went on the flight. And she came up to me, of course, several times during the flight, asking how I was doing, reminding me of meditation, because she was also very spiritual, this doctor. I've been very lucky there. And also she told me when I was in the doctor's office before we left, she said, be honest with the people on the flight, that you are scared. And so I did. And there was this purser that was working, flight attendant that was working there. He was just so funny and so beautiful. And I told him, this was United Airlines, by the way. And I told him, I suffer from panic attacks and anxiety, and I'm really scared of flying. And he was like, we will get through this. Don't you worry. So he was also an angel, sent out of the blue. And he checked up on me all the time, made sure that I was comfortable, and how are you feeling, So I had 2 people coming to me all the time, checking up on me, making sure I was okay. And he invited me also back behind the curtain. He said, come on, come out here, to make me relax, because then I could watch him just working, being relaxed, all that stuff. And then, of course, the anxiety just dissipated. I was having fun with him all of a sudden. And then at the end of the flight, he came up to me and he gave me this little, it looks like 2 wings. It's not a brush, but, with a little needle on it. Pin, I guess you could call it. And so he gave me that, and he said, well, you survived, so I want to give you this. So I have that as a memory from that flight. And I flew over to New York, and then I flew from New York to Buffalo, because we were going to Lilydale in New York State. And there was, I was kind of scared also on that flight, but there was this really, really beautiful couple that was sitting next to me, and they could see that I was scared, and they really took me in like some parents, and they helped me, and they kept me, happy, and really just made sure that I was comfortable on this flight. And they said, oh, we fly this route so many times, and it's a bumpy road every now and then, but it's gonna be fine. So they helped me on that flight. And then we were flying from Buffalo over through via New York over to LA, because we were going to have the second half of our education over there. And who was on my flight? Lisa Williams herself, who was the teacher. She booked the flight on the same as mine, so I had her with me on that flight. And going home from LA to New York, I had a man that was really helpful to me, an old daddy figure that was really nice. And then from New York and home, there was one of the students that had been participating that was part of that flight, and she helped me. So, everything was orchestrated for me to be able to participate on this journey. And that's just one of the examples on how Michael has helped me, and how this have been orchestrated to help me along the way. I have many stories, but the thing is that he's of course omnipresent, and he can help anybody at any time, because time doesn't exist on that side of the veil. Angels is of course light beings that are on a certain frequency, and we have given them the names. So the name Michael has been given to him, her, it. But it is the energy vibration of protection and support. That's kind of the main energy that the energy of Michael, that we call Michael, has. He has that protective or energy. And he shows himself to me, you know, almost as soon as I think about him. He's always present in my life. He has never not been present when I needed him to be. I believe he has helped me cut cords to a lot of ego stuff. He has helped me cut the cords to toxic people in my life, toxic situations in my life. He has protected me in his bubble when I leave the house, when I need to do things that I'm scared of. He has given me support and held me up in my darkest hours. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit emotional here as well, because his love is so profound to me, and his support has been so profound in my life. And if he wasn't here that day, excuse me, whew, if he wasn't here that day to tell me to sleep on it and supporting me and giving me his love, I wouldn't be here. So, yeah. So that's the honest truth, people. And yeah, it's been a long time coming sharing that story with you. But I felt it was time now to share it. I have many stories about him, but that's kind of the main story of who he is. And he can also help you if you do mediumship work. I do have another gatekeeper that I call Ilias, who has kind of been my gatekeeper in who is allowed into my energy field from the spiritual realm when you do mediumship or when you rinse houses. But Michael can also be used in that situation. He can put up a protective bubble if you're going in to rinse a house. He can help with organizing the spirits that come in. And also if there are energies or entities that is not matching your vibration, not that it's better than or worse than or dangerous for you, but if it's a dissonance on the vibration of the energy field, it can feel overwhelming, or it can feel, you know, what can I say? Not bad, but different, and it can knock you off a little bit. And so he can help in protecting or preparing you for that energy to come in. For instance, if you are channeling entities that are very high vibrational, the physical form can experience that as very heavy or extreme on the body, and he can help you with that, and he can protect you, and he can you know, be there to help with finding the right level of vibration between you and whomever you are communicating with. So he can be used in so many ways, and not just as the big protector, you know, but the support as well is something I would like to really enhance with Michael. He is extremely supportive and extremely loving. He, for me, is also, I experience him as the brother of Jeshua, of Jesus Christ. He has the same vibrational energy, sometimes even bigger for me. You know, Jesus was a person here on this planet, so he is a light being now. But what he's been trying to teach us all is that we are equal. We are all equal. We are. He is not above anyone. Actually, he just knew and experienced in this lifetime what he truly was. He understood. He was very awoke. You know, he was in contact with God, source energy, and he just knew how things truly are. But that doesn't mean that he's different from us as light beings. We are all light beings beaming from the same God. So Michael has, for me, maybe because he has never been in the human form, a bigger presence. He, you know, Joshua, Jesus as well. But there is something about the strength in the energy of Michael that I can't find in any other entity that I have channeled so far. So So that's my experience with Michael. He is so present. He is so loving and supporting. And ask for his help. Ask him to come to you, and share with me. Please, if you want to, in the description box, if you have any experience with Michael, I would love, love, love to read them. So please share if you feel up for it. And yeah, I think that was pretty much all I had for this one video. Yeah, thank you for being here. Wishing you a beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and thank you for listening to my story. Till the next time I see you.